12-year-old daughter recently came to me and said that she was transgender. She wanted to be a boy. And as a Christian mother, there was only one thing I could do. And that was help my son transition so that he could be the young man that God always intended him to be. Support your kids. It's what God wants you to do. Love you, babies.
So, first of all, I'm transgender. That is fine. I'm very happy and silly. There you go.
What's your favorite thing about yourself?
I'm transgender.
That's your favorite thing about yourself?
Yeah.
What's your least favorite thing about yourself?
That I'm violent.
That what?
That I'm violent.
You should see your hair right now.
Yes, welcome back. Transitioning kid at a very tender age is a trend going on recently. I saw this video going viral on social media where this mother decided to transition this 2-year-old child to a girl simply because he liked to dress like a boy and he doesn't like sport. So the best decision she could do was to transition him.
Okay, so first of all, I will say that the process, the journey is ongoing and probably will be for potentially her entire life. But here's how it started. So she was designated, assigned, observed male at birth. And until about 18 months, didn't really, know too much, just kind of was raising 2 kids, working full time, not really paying attention to what was going on. And at around 18 months, she started showing signs of like really being interested in things that her sister had and had in her closet and wanting to play dress up and wanting to put on lip gloss. And when she would see fingernails, she would want her fingernails painted too. And, we thought it was cute. No issue. We had no issue with, her wanting to do those kinds of things. And then around the age of 2, things started to progress at a quicker pace. And so each time that we would go to pick her up from preschool, she was fully outfitted in dresses and jewelry. And so I will say I was super stoked that we had such a wonderful childcare center that she was in because she was allowed to, experiment with her gender and play dress up and do those kinds of things and have access to them. So
Yes, from my general conclusions and what I've observed, these people want to cancel this fact of gender at birth. They don't even want that it should exist. When you give birth to a child, you just have to be like you're a blind person. You don't know whether this child is a boy or is a girl. When a child grows to a certain learn, the child decides who he wants to be. That is a message they have been struggling to pass for a very long time.
That she was in because she was allowed to, experiment with her gender and play dress up and do those kinds of things and have access to them. So when I would go to pick her up from preschool, like I said, she would be dripping in, just jewelry and clicky shoes and all kinds of stuff. And getting her to take that off to go home was usually a pretty gnarly struggle. And then around the age of 4, she started wanting to wear like leggings and headbands. She had this one headband she was completely attached to that she felt, I look back on it now and think to myself, gosh, I wonder when she put that.
The reason she is struggling to outline here to me doesn't make sense at all. If a parent is to follow or what children like, then at a certain point, a child at 2 will carry a gun. Yes, because a child might decide he likes this. You follow, no, my child likes this. You go and give the child exactly this. You, as a parent, you have the responsibility to decide what your child should do. It is at the age of 18 that a child can take decision for themselves, and that is the age I recommend that people like these should be allowed. They should grow reach 18 and take decision for themselves. I have seen recent bills where they have enacted where children should be able to sue doctors and even parents after transitioning them at a tender age.
A pretty gnarly struggle. And then around the age of 4, she started wanting to wear like leggings and headbands. She had this one headband she was completely attached to that she felt, I look back on it now and think to myself, gosh, I wonder when she put that that headband on, she thought to herself, people see me for who I am. No one's going to misgender me now. And so it progressed. It just kept moving in that direction with more and more things that started showing more and more signs. She would say, when I wake up tomorrow, I'll be a girl. And we were kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. And my husband and I would be like, we gotta figure this thing out. And so kind of for that final test, my husband decided, you know what, we're going to figure this thing out. We're going to tap into this and see what happens. So he said, I'm going to coach a t-ball team and I want her to be on it. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. Well, that didn't go over so well. She not only hated t-ball, she hated the uniform, she hated the hat. We found everything in the trash multiple times. You couldn't get her out the door to go play on Saturday mornings. And so eventually I thought at one point, well, what if I let you wear your leggings and a tank top underneath, and we can, as soon as the game's over, you can take your uniform off. And she was like, okay. So she wore the headband. She didn't wear the hat. She wore the headband. She wore the clothes underneath her uniform. And she would go to the game and she would stand there. And as soon as it was like, game over, she would rip those clothes, that uniform off and stand and proud in her tank top and her leggings. And very shortly after that, she told us she was a girl. And we believe her.
Yes, when I saw this clip, I went through the comment section to see how people are reacting. Some people wrote, the parent pushing this on their children are setting up their children for a wall of hurt. I honestly get the vibe that this little boy realized that he was getting more attention from his mother when he acted this way. Because even she admitted that before this happened, she wasn't paying attention and walking. But my God tells me that the boy was groomed into this by either the mother, daycare, or both. It happens. It happens. Reason sometimes when you have a daycare, you need to be, vigilant to see the kind of doctrine they are passing to your children. Because at a certain point, this kind of doctrine might be coming from them. If you look at the level of this transitioning that is happening nowadays, you realize it has reached a certain epic in such a way that when I watch some of their videos, I feel like to cry because it saddens me when you see a girl now in the form of a boy, then really regretting watching Biden her secretary few hours ago. They are struggling, to censor information like this. People opposing these surgeries, you know, they should be kicked off on social media. Reason sometimes when I'm putting out videos like this, there are a lot of things I really want to say, but I cannot say them because it is